Welcome to the PCO podcast. In this podcast, we share information and tips with international companies that want to establish themselves in the Netherlands. Information about the Dutch labor market, trends and topics, laws and regulations, Dutch tax and legal information, sales and marketing strategies, schools for the children of expats, and much, much more. In each episode, we will briefly address a specific topic. PCO, Pro-Job Company Onboarding, is a network of cooperating Dutch and international companies that support immigrating international companies with their onboarding in the Dutch economy and labor market.
My name is Els Brouwer from Pro-Job Company Onboarding, and today I'm seeing Serge Maesen and Jacob Poortinga from the NewSalesCompany, a marketing and media agency in Naarden, the Netherlands. Serge, welcome in the PCO podcast.
Thank you.
Serge, why is a good marketing strategy so important if you want to enter the Dutch and European market?
That is a very good question, Els. If you want to enter the Dutch and European market, you need to know where to find your target audience or your key customers and to know what is relevant to them. And without a good marketing strategy, you will not find them. You will not be able to address them in a convincing way. First of all, you have to learn about the Dutch market and what you need to change about your approach to succeed. To succeed, you need to know what goals you have in mind. Is the Netherlands your only target group? Will you launch your product only there, or do you see the Netherlands as a gateway to Europe? What is your knowledge of the Netherlands in relation to your product offering, and what do you know about the different countries in Europe?
Do you mean that the Netherlands are different than other countries when it comes to product offering?
Well, it all depends on what kind of products and services you're selling. So you need to ask yourself, do you need to set different goals for different countries in Europe or not? A good marketing strategy will guide you through the process.
Okay, and what does a company that wants to establish itself in the Netherlands needs to do to launch a product or brand here?
Well, you have to decide on how you want your target audience to perceive your brand. The so-called positioning of your brand. When positioning your brand, you first have to look at the functional and emotional reasons that motivate your target audience to choose your product or company. This can be done by answering the question, what do you want to be for whom? Choosing a relevant brand positioning is crucial to create a foothold in the Dutch and European market.
Then what would be your first step?
Well, first and foremost, your foundation has to be in order. Your website and social media channels have to be ready for building your market presence in the Netherlands or the EU. Your position in the marketplace and proposition must be determined, and your distinctive benefits must be seen on your website, so your potential customer can find what your company promises. And of course, you have to know who your customers are and what drives them. If you know this, the next step is to develop a strategic media plan with the right story in order to be able to distribute this through the right channels at the exact right time. A good marketing media agency can do this for you.
And what are the next steps?
Well, after that you have to create awareness. The goal is to reach the right target audience often enough without them actively searching for your brand. This phase can take a while, but is imperative for the success of the next phases. So if your brand was visible long enough to create this familiarity, your target audience can now choose for your brand or a company on a more conscious level. What are the unique selling points of your company? What distinguishes you from your competitors? The answers will need to be present in the content you distribute, like blogs and articles, social posts, branded content, native advertising, etc., etc. The goal is to lead your target group to your website and create engagement. Next, the traffic to the website must lead to conversion, so visitors on your website must feel that they are on the right website and find what they are looking for.
Yes, and then?
Well, every organization has its own story. A story you need to emphasize with distinctive content that fascinates and inspires your potential buyers or clients. And this content also needs to be relevant to the purchase of your product or service and help people decide. To be as effective as possible, you will want to use the content in all different shapes and forms on multiple locations. You need to determine where you want your content to be seen and to decide which content partners you need for this to succeed. The next step is to decide which media you want to use. you will want to reach as many people within your target audience for the smallest budget. In most cases, you need to use both online as offline channels. And of course, in the end, you need to analyze the results of the campaigns and compare these to the benchmarks.
It all sounds very interesting. Thank you, Serge, and Jacob, you too, for sharing all your knowledge and expertise. And then we come to the final question. What are the key factors to achieve measurable marketing success?
Well, that's a very difficult question, but a really good one. It's advisable to have one contact person in your organization. You have to have real-time insight in the numbers, making sure you stay in the lead and analyzing and optimizing continuously to maximize your campaign results. And last but not least, a clear and transparent report for all stakeholders. So what you need is a full-service marketing media agency, which can support you in this process by trusting in your partners, especially when you go to a different country. Advice is not to do your own media buying, strengthen numbers, giving advice regarding your brand positioning, informing you about your market and possibilities, advising you about the right media to use, creating content, and of course, making sure you have the right media campaigns with the best results.
Did you think it was informative and interesting? Then we hope you will listen to our next episode as well. If there is a specific topic you want to be informed about in this podcast, you can send us an email to companyonboarding@projob.nl, and we will invite one of our experts in the network to share his or her expertise. The PCO podcast is hosted by Els Brouwer, Marieke Kramer and Esther Werneke from ProJob Company Onboarding. If you would like to listen to more PCO podcast episodes, please visit companyonboarding.nl.